everyone, my name is Agatha Teresa Pranginangin with my ID number 20070051007. So, I'm going to explain phonology in this video about consonant for my midterm examination. Phonology deals with the speaker's knowledge of the sound system of a language. So, phonology is about how the speech sounds from pattern a particular language. Speech sound can be classified into different categories according to the activity of the organ of speech involved in their production. Speech sounds are usually divided into vowels and consonants. Generally speaking, consonants shape the airstream coming from the larynx in a more perceptible manner than vowels. Manner is the condition of airstream to produce consonant. So, consonant is prime articulation involves some audible abstraction in the oral cavity. The difference of consonant and vowel is the abstraction that faced by the airstream. The vowel sound produced without abstraction, and the airstream flow freely. In this presentation, I will explain consonants. So, consonants in consonant there will be abstraction in the airstream. Very different with the vowel. So there are three ways to classify consonants. So there is place of articulation, manner of articulation, and voicing. So the first one is place of articulation. Place of articulation or point of articulation related with which organ that work to produce sound. So there are some of it. The first one is bilabial. It is when the lower lip meets the upper lip and produce sounds like b, m, b, like b, p, and m. So the second one is labiodental. It is when the lower lip meets the upper lip. It's produced sound like fl, fl. It is v, f, yeah. And then the third one is dental. It is the obstruction between the tip of tongue with upper teeth, and it's produced the sound like the, thim. It is th, yes. And then there's an alveolar ridge or palate alveolar. It is in the front palate, and then it produces sound d, t, z, S, N, L. So when we produce sound like t, and z. And then there's a palate alveolar. It is when the blade of the tongue is arched near the alveolar area with a simultaneous approximation of the front of the tongue toward the hard palate. And it's produced sound like ship, and then r, measure, chair, ch, jeep, gesture for g and g. So the next one is post alveolar. It is when the tip of the tongue meets the rear part of alveolar ridge. So it's produced sound r, r for rat. And then there's palatal. It is the hard palate. It is in the back there. It is in the middle actually. It's produced sound G for yes, and young. Okay, and then there's velar or soft palate. It's produced sound G, K, and ng. Okay, the next one is glottal. If the back end of the vocal folds are held apart by moving the arytenoid collar ties, it is a small space open up between the vocal cords. Yes, that's it. So the next one is manner of articulation. It is the condition of airstream when producing sound. So, when producing a consonant, there's a manner of articulation. So the first one is stop or plosive. It is when we produce the sound, our mouth is closed, completely closing. The air is totally stopped, and then sudden release. The sudden release make a buzz sound. It is for P, P, B, T, D, K, G, G. Okay, the second one is affricates. It is when the airstream is slowly released for the sound like ch, ch, z, sh. Okay, the third one is nasal. It is when the air is full stop, um, and the airstream is from the nose. So the mouth is full stop, and the airstream is your nose. So it is when we produce sound like and then n. So the next one is fricative. It is close but not completely. It is narrowing. So when we produce sound like v, we, d, and then the last one is approximants. It is a semi-final. It is almost no abstraction in there. So it is when we produce sound like L, R, W, J, G. Okay, so the third one is voicing. So it is the condition of the glottis actually. So the glottis is the cavity between the vocal cords. It is about the tremor that's happening. So the first one, there's two of them. The first one is voice. It is with tremor. So when we produce sound like b, b, there's a tremor in there. And then the second one is voiceless. It is without tremor. We can hear it. When we close our ear like this, we can feel the tremor actually. If you are sensitive enough to notice, there's a voiceless, and it is without tremor. So it is when we produce sound like b, b. There will be no tremor in there. Okay. The thing is that tremoring is the cavity located between the vocal cords. So that is the one that tremoring. It is the cavity located between the vocal cords. Okay, so that is for my video. Thank you so much for listening for my explanation. Thank you.